arrival of the casket bearing the remains of the former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Edward Philip George Seaga. Of course, a state funeral is always done by the military, and today we'll have the guard of honor and officers in the vigil. The officials in the vigil party, it's being led by Major Marlon Kennedy, and Party A will consist of Major Keisha Foster, one of several females you will see in the vigil party, as well as those lining the streets and certainly along the route going to his official resting place at the National Heroes Park. Along with Major Foster, we'll have Captain Clinton Brown, Captain Kevin Roden, Lieutenant Roxwell Wedderburn, Lieutenant Nigel Brown, and Lieutenant Senior Grade Omar Stewart. For the B party, because of course the body is being lying in state for an hour from 11 to midday, and the official party B will consist of
Major Glenn Thompson and Captain Nicholas Beaumont, Captain Dorothy Byfield, Captain Melbourne Williams, and Lieutenant Michael Richards, along with Second Lieutenant Tajay Haynes. But let's talk a little bit about this historic cathedral here at North Street, site of many important, in fact, state funerals. The state funeral of the late Governor General Sir Howard Cook, for example, was held here.
Yes.
And not too long ago, in fact, just about 4 months ago, the official funeral, not state, but official funeral of former government minister and trade unionist Dwight Nelson was also held here. The state funerals of former prime ministers Michael Manley and Hugh Lawson Shearer were also held in this cathedral.
Indeed, the former Prime Minister Hugh Shearer, that being 15 years ago, he died in 2004, and his state funeral was here. But Tony as well, and I think all those who are listening, both in Jamaica and the diaspora, and certainly on social media, seeing the images here today, would recognize your own voice. You have covered every state funeral in Jamaica since 1967.
Yeah, that's correct.
So you really
sounds
have
like a long time. It's over
really
50
seen
years.
a lot of the history of Jamaica.
I was there at, I covered the first state funeral I attended and participated in the broadcast was Sir Donald Sangster in 1967. And then 2 years later, in 1969, the Right Excellent Norman Manley. And everyone since then.
Yes. So you really have seen how these events really have taken on added significance in the Jamaican society, and too in terms of planning and executing such a funeral as this.
Much more streamlined now, of course. I guess with practice, they become perfect. And unfortunately, these things happen, and we have to have them. But as we do more state funerals, and we observe how it's done in other countries, of course, our Jamaica Defence Force, the JDF, who is in charge of all the operations here for these state events,
yes,
are very, very proficient, very on the dot. Everything is worked out like clockwork. On the screen right now, you're seeing the arrival, of course, of the Honorable Hilary Beckles, Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies.
Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, indeed.
Correct, yes. Also, already several other dignitaries have arrived, important people, members of the clergy, and members of Mr. Seaga's family.
Indeed, Rebecca Tortello, Mr. Seaga's niece, is here. Of course, she does a lot of work in education as well. I did glimpse Mr. Seaga's son, Christopher, who came in as the body came in, but of course, officially, the family will arrive shortly before or start at noon.
About 11,
If I could, Tony, and if we could just for the benefit of the viewers and listeners in Jamaica and across the world. Just a rundown, really, of what is expected to happen here. Of course, we are now at about 17 minutes past 11 o'clock. The official start of the state funeral will begin at high noon, midday. And so up to from 11 to 11:30, we'll have, of course, the Guard of Honor escorting everyone in position. The officials begin to arrive at 11:30. The Most Honorable Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, and his wife will arrive. Once the Governor General arrives, that really is the official start of the proceedings. On screen, we're seeing the Member of Parliament for West Rural St. Andrew, yes, Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, a first-time Member of Parliament here, certainly representing the governing Jamaica Labour Party.
And as the camera scans the cathedral, we're noticing that the pews are filling up and more persons are coming in. Indeed. A while ago we had a shot of the outside. There is Peter Bunting from the opposition, and in the back, in that white hat, Dr. Mavis Gilmore, former Member of Parliament. Mavis Gilmore in the white hat just behind Peter Bunting.
Indeed. Well, one of the features that I think our viewers will see certainly is all these fans. It is absolutely hot in Jamaica. It's a very hot summer morning. Absolutely beautiful, yes, but hot. I understand from the Met Service that we will get to a high of 97 degrees Fahrenheit today.
By midday, I guess.
And wow. So certainly there are several water stations here to keep persons hydrated. We have
Minister
the arrival.
Ed Bartlett now arriving. And we can see a member of the Revivalist Church in his purple head tie, just also entering the cathedral.
Yes.
A while ago we saw a picture of the outside of the cathedral, and across the road, immediately in front on North Street, there is a tent and several persons there. One can judge by the colors they're wearing, a lot of them decked out in green. They are supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party, and no doubt Mr. Seaga, and probably from his constituency.
A former sports commentator right there.